My guest today is an American writer, screenwriter, and producer. This year, she published her debut novel, Olga Dies Dreaming, which became a New York Times bestseller on January 30th, 2022. She lives in her hometown of Brooklyn with her little dog, Hectah Lavoe. Ay, he's so cute. I've seen pictures of him. Please welcome my guest, Xochitl Gonzalez. Hi, what's up, Nena? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here with you. I love you, Tita.
Hi, Nena, I love you too. I love your style. And you're from New York City, Boricua, Mexicana. Let's get it. What's up?
That's right. Oh my God, I'm a Brooklyn girl through and through. Don't push me.
Let me ask you something. Does your dog inspire you when you write? Does Hector say, "Mira, try this sentence here"?
Yes, sometimes. Or he tells me when it's getting boring. Looking at the screen to passing out and basically get it rolling on his back with his legs up, and then you're like, you're off today. you're not keeping me hooked.
And you never know. Maybe he'll write his own novel one day también.
I know. Well, I wish that he could have helped me do the book signings and just a paw.
How do you even start writing a book? How do you say, okay, today I'm gonna write a book. Where's my pencil? Where's my paper? How do you even start that process?
Yeah, it's wild. Usually there's one character, there's a character that you want to write about first. And for me anyway, and I sort of knew who Olga was going to be. I had a version. I was like, oh, Olga's going to be like you if you never had therapy. And so I just sort of I was like, she's going to be a little petty. She's going to be kind of funny.
Okay, you just hating because I'm mad cute.
She's going to have some issues she's never dealt with. And I kind of understood where she was going to be. And then I knew I wanted to write something in that case about Puerto Rico and Hurricane Maria. And so I started to think about how would this woman's world engage with that happening, in that time. It's set in 2017. And then, you start kind of just coming up with a loose idea and you start writing. So, I knew I wanted her mom to have been a former young lord, because my parents are met in that era. And my mom had been involved in getting Black and Puerto Rican studies set up at Brooklyn College, and was very radical at the time. And I wanted them to have a mom kind of like that. And so then it kind of just builds and builds and builds.
Now let me ask you something, because your book is called Olga Dies Dreaming. Does she die in your book? Because, that's scary. Nobody got hurt, right? Because I hear about people, they dream and they die in their dreams.
No, nobody got hurt. The title is actually from the poem Puerto Rican Obituary by Pedro Prieto. It comes from Juan, Miguel, Olga, Manuel, all died yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Of course, I remember him. Aquí to be called negrito means to be called love.
It's a parallel thing. In that poem, he was talking a lot about the early waves of Boricuas coming to New York and kind of losing their way and wanting to become, assimilated. And when we meet Olga and her brother, they are very successful by kind of regular American standards, but they're both kind of lost their way in terms of how they are, about themselves, about family, about their own cultural identity. So it's a metaphorical death, and it's an homage to that poem, which kind of the themes of that poem sort of reflect in the themes of the book. And that was important to me because I feel like we, our history doesn't get taught. And so we have to make sure that we keep it alive, our history and our culture.
Let me ask you something. If I want to write a book, right, because I got some ideas, and I might want to write about my family one day, or my crazy kid or whatever. What would be a good starting point for me? You mentioned earlier a little bit of advice, but let's say, I want to write a book. What would you suggest?
You have such a good sense of humor, Tita. I would find a story that you remember, either it's a memory or whatever, and just start with something that you find funny. You know what I mean? Because that'll keep you entertained, and then just write a little bit. Everything starts in a little chunk, and sometimes it might not seem like it's connected yet, but if you have memories that are oh, that was really hilarious, or when my son did this, that was this crazy time that was bad, but then also kind of funny, and when I look back, I feel differently about it. Think, just isolate little incidents and start putting them down on paper, and then you'll start to see that there's a connection. Do you know what I mean? Because our brains work when we're not working sometimes. Like we wake up in the morning. I like to write in the morning because I wake up and it's like in the night, my crazy mind is like putting all these things together and connecting dots.
Yeah, because I think my first book is going to be called How Do I Get Rid of My Son because he's 24 years old. He needs to get out by Tita. That's going to be the title of my first book. And I'm sure it's going to be a New York Times bestseller or at least a South Bronx bestseller, you know? What's your favorite book? Like, what book inspired you to become a writer?
Oh, what a good question that is. I love 100 Years of Solitude. I reread it like a lot. Like I reread it like once a year. And that book to me is just so like dope and interesting and imaginative. And then I really loved I love Bonfire of the Vanities. It's just sort of this like, I don't know, it's a wild book. It's kind of satirical and fun. So I like stuff that's about New York. Like mainly I like books about New York for some, even it's so narcissistic. It's like, I live here, I write about it, I want to read about it. It's just like an exciting place, you know? So I think stuff with humor and that is kind of a little imaginative is all the stuff that made me want to write. But those two books in particular, I would say for sure. I was like, I want to write a book, and I wanted it to have like my perspective. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I want to do something weird and imaginative, but have it have my perspective.
All right, two of my favorite books. It has to be, you know, that book Corduroy, and the other one that's Harold and the Purple Crayon.
I do like Harold and the Book of Crayons.
That book really just inspired me.
Oh, Harold. I loved Harold when I was a kid.
Because all the things he could do with that purple crayon, you know, for sometimes when I be getting bills in the mail that I can't pay, I wish I had that purple crayon so I could draw money. Because I need money, bendito.
You know what? God bless Harold. He never had any financial problems because he never thought to do that. You're so right. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. He was like, let me draw a boat because I want to swim in that. I want to go through that water. Let me draw this and that. But, you know, he never saw him draw money.
He never drew money. He was a pure heart, Ed Harold. He was a pure heart with no material problems. I appreciate that.
So, Nena, listen, if I want to buy your book today, like right now, you know, and support you, like where can I go? Because, you know, some of the people watching, they're going to want to buy your book like right away. So, like, where can they go to support you?
They can go to Bookshop and then they can support independent bookstores, or they can go to, if they're in New York, they can go to Mil Mundos, or they can go to Community Bookshop, and then they can go to Amazon, of course. They can always go to Amazon. That's there 24/7 if people want to do that. And then it's nice and easy. But I know Community Bookshop and Greenlight Books have signed copies if people want signed copies.
I love that. And you know that all that information is going to be in the info box below. So if you want to follow her, make sure that you support her, right? People, don't be like that. Support.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Tita.
Ay, it's my pleasure. Mira, and tell Hectah Lavoe que send him my love and blessings. Y nena, congratulations on everything. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Who's that special lady with a story to tell? It's Tita.
Yo, that's a hit.